back in the deep recesses of history, November to be precise, I made a video comparing 5 sim racing shifters. In that video, I had some very nice things to say about the Aiologs shifter, and I promised I would make a full review in due course. And since it's still the 2nd of January, and I'm sticking to my New Year's resolutions, today I'm keeping that promise. Hello fellow sim racers, and welcome to my first video of 2019. Before we get into the details, it's important to clarify that Aiologs did send me this shifter for a review, but as always, that had no impact on what I have to say about the product. So let's begin at the beginning. If you don't know, Aiologs are a small Russian company that, at the time of writing, makes just 2 products, a sim racing shifter and a handbrake that I'll be featuring in a video a little bit later on in the year. I'm going to front load this review by giving you what I think are 4 compelling reasons that this shifter is worth serious consideration for your sim racing setup. First up, it's incredibly well made. It has a better shifting feel than almost any other sequential shifter on the market. It comes with a great selection of mounting options, and it's also really competitively priced. If I had to sum up the build quality of the Aiologs shifter in one word, that word would be tank. Much of the unit is constructed from steel, be it the thick stainless steel plates used in the body and mounting options, or regular high carbon steel in some of the machined parts. And it's all chonky sections of steel too, no Kit Kat wrappers masquerading as real materials, unlike most modern cars. The top window of the unit is made of what looks like polycarbonate, which is plenty rugged and allows you to look into the nicely machined workings of the unit, which Aiologs have handily lit with configurable RGB lighting. All in all, everything feels very solid. The fitment of parts is pretty much as good as I've seen, which means there's no play in anything at all when it's all assembled. In fact, everything is so rugged, solid and well built that it's helped highlight that my rig's shifter arm really does need a second point of attachment, since the aluminium extrusion flexes a little when shifting. This isn't really a problem in use, but it does look pretty bad on camera. For me, this shifter really looks and feels the part. Sure, it's a little bit industrial looking, which may be off-putting for some. Maybe you just prefer the look of injection molded plastic. Aiologs thoughtfully provide mounting options for those that sim race at a desk or with a dedicated sim rig. The desk mount clamp is constructed from the same plate stainless steel as the rest of the unit and is just as rugged as you would expect. You will need to use something to help protect your desk though, as in a fight with your IKEA Linmon tabletop, this is going to win in a first round knockout. Hell, it would probably take the belt of the weigh-in. Suffice to say, once you clamp it down, the shifter is staying put. For those with a dedicated rig, the mounting plate is drilled with aluminium extrusion rigs in mind, though I suspect this could be easily repurposed for most commercial or homebrew chassis one way or another. The plate itself has been redesigned for 2020 with more mounting holes and ultimately more options. Great! Out of the box, this is a PC-only USB device, but if you're interested in using more bespoke sim racing equipment on your Xbox One or PS4, there is a third-party product called DriveHub, which allows traditionally PC-only sim racing equipment to function properly on the Microsoft and Sony platforms, and you should definitely check that out. There's not a lot to a sequential shifter in terms of function. It shifts up, it shifts down, and all of the models on the market achieve that. But for me, the shifting feel of the Aiologs sequential shifter is really very good. The resistance of the shifter is significantly higher than most of its competitors. As you move the shifter, the strong spring resistance increases until you reach the click point, and you feel a very tactile, mechanical jolt as the lever engages the mechanism and activates a shift. While the shifting is of course an electronic signal, this is one of the few units that comes close to having a convincing feel of a mechanical system. This accomplishes 2 things. First up, you feel significantly more hardcore as you're banging through the gears, and secondly, any chance of an accidental double shift are all but eliminated. There's not a lot more to add here, it feels great and it works well. As a final note, the new for 2020 model includes an improved shifter handle with a longer throw and grub screw attachment to prevent the knob coming loose if you've got a bit of a gorilla grip. The knob itself has also been redesigned with a longer profile that's more common in sequential shifters. Both of these are very positive improvements in my opinion. That's all well and good, but I've yet to mention the most impressive part of the Aiologs shifter, the price. In terms of function, materials and construction, this is up there with the best sim racing products, but the price point is very much designed to compete with the mass market products from the likes of Thrustmaster and Fanatec. However, there's nothing on the Aiologs shifter that's been designed down to a price, and at $165 at present, I think that's remarkable. Dimitri informs me that this price may rise by $5 at some point in the future, but even so, this represents impressive value for money. Before I wrap things up, if you want a more in-depth look at the shifter, you should definitely watch Barry, Sim Racing Garage's video. He takes a look at the 2018 model, and as always, he strips it down to the bare components and gets way more technical than I do. If you do so, note how much the finishing has improved and the various small iterative design improvements that have happened over the last 2 years. Of course, I put a link to that in the video description for anyone that's interested. So to sum up, this is just a really well thought through product. It's built like a tank, feels great to use, and it's more than fairly priced. There's not much more to say than that. I'll be taking a look at the handbrake a little bit later on in the year, so the content feed doesn't get too repetitive, but for now I'll add that it's just every bit as good as the shifter. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, it would be great if you could hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you can see more content like this in the future. So all that's left to say is goodbye, thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.